Hey guys, today I have a 2010 Honda Civic Coupe. I want to show you guys the common issues these cars have. The top motor mount collapses, which causes a very loud vibration inside the car. I'll show you what to look for when you're looking under the engine bay. If you have like a rattling noise, it sounds like something's coming from the front passenger side of your car. This is more than likely the cause of it, and you can tell just by popping the hood and looking underneath. Come to the left passenger side here, you can see the engine mount is right here. That piece right there, that's not supposed to be resting on. There's actually supposed to be a gap in between that piece and the top, and I'll show you when it's done what it's supposed to look like. Everything's easy to get at, and I'll list out all the tools that you'll need to do this job, and it's right on top of the motor, so let's get to it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove this filler hose for the windshield washer fluid. Normally there's a cap here, but on this car it's a little bit older, it's already been missing. So you should just be able to pop this out and just pull it up, and it should just slide right out. As you can see, I've went ahead and I've sprayed penetrating lubricant on all the bolts here. So we got to take out this top mount here. We're going to be removing this bolt here, as well as these two bolts right here. This bolt, the ground strap, this bolt. There's two other bolts down here, and we're going to just loosen this one. We're not going to take it out completely. Next, we're going to put the jack underneath the car and support the bottom of the engine with a block of wood. This way it doesn't fall when we take the engine mounts off. Next, I'm going to use an 11/16, an extension, and a breaker bar to break this bolt loose up top here. Keep in mind, it could be very tight. Once it's a little bit loose, you can switch to a ratchet and take it the rest of the way off. Or if you have an impact, you can use that as well. And repeat the same step for these two bolts right here. And then this should just wiggle right out. Now we've also exposed this bolt, which is on top of the mount that we need to remove. So we're going to go ahead and spray penetrating lubricant on this one now as well. Go ahead and apply to all the rest of the bolts. Now we're going to remove this ground strap that's right here. Just pull this out of the way, and I like to put the bolt back in the hole, that way you don't lose it. Next, we're going to remove the two 9/16 bolts on this side of the bracket that attach to the car over here. And then you can go ahead and take them the rest of the way out with a ratchet. Next, we're going to remove the bolt that's on the top of the engine mount. Again, just like all the other steps, you want to use the breaker bar, and then just take it out the rest of the way with a ratchet. So for whatever reason, I could not find my deep 3/4, so I'm just using 2 wrenches like this to get extra leverage. So this is a hard bolt to get out, so make sure you have a 19mm deep socket, the proper one to fit, and pops out. And this nut actually stays in here. It has a taper on it, so you can just leave it like that and set it aside. And this now exposes our mount. See if you can see here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen this bolt here, and we're going to remove the 2 bolts on each side of this mount, and that should give us enough room to wiggle it out. Again, I'm just using the breaker bar to break everything loose first. I'm just just gonna loosen this bolt and leave it in here. You know what? I'm gonna take it right out. I feel like it'd be easier. I heard that it's hard to get back in, but I don't see it being an issue. For this, I'm gonna use 2 extensions. This extension has a bit of a wobble. Just makes it easier to get on the bolts when they're in these awkward places. And I'm just gonna get the 2 bolts on each side of this mount. Do it. So after you get both those bolts out, you should just be able to wiggle it out, and there's the old mount right there. As you can see how much higher this mount, this is the new mount, is sitting, and that's what's causing the vibrations, is that other mount resting on this one and going directly on the frame. So we're gonna put the new one in now. So now you just do the reverse and just put everything back in. And you just want to make sure there's a little dowel inside here. Make sure it pops into place so that hole lines up. You can just use a bar to pry it over if you need to, and then put this screw back in, or bolt back in.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below.
Should be brand new. You can see the gap between that mount. And this should solve the rattling problem that is caused by this issue. So, there. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something. And stick around for more stuff more related to my drift car or any other kind of modifications we have to do. Thanks, bye.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know